If someone steals your content, what can you really do about it? In this video, we'll walk you through the real-world strategy behind protecting your copyrighted work, from cease and desist letters to full-on lawsuits. You'll learn when it makes sense to take legal action, how much it could cost, and what you might actually recover. Before you spend thousands defending your rights, make sure you understand the business case behind enforcing copyright. Now, sometimes this is called a demand letter. Why do people call it that? Because you're demanding that they do something. You're demanding that they cease and desist. You might even demand that they pay you some money in order for you to avoid suing them. So the letter might say something like, "You are infringing on our copyrighted work. This is our work. Here's the evidence that we have that you are using it without our permission. We can sue you for copyright infringement, but in the interest of saving everybody legal fees, we'll accept some money in exchange for not suing you." Usually a cease and desist letter or a demand letter, or whatever you want to call this letter, is sent by a law firm. Why? Well, a law firm doesn't have to send it, but if you send it yourself, it may not carry the same weight. It may not demonstrate the same seriousness that you're hoping to convey to the recipient of your letter. The purpose of your letter is to get the other side to stop infringing your copyright. And they're most likely to take that letter seriously if it comes on law firm letterhead rather than merely from your company. But sometimes you might say, hey, let's give it a try. Let's send a first draft off. A letter like this can very easily be created with artificial intelligence, or you can find a template online which you can use. You could send it like that. I do find most of the time the recipient of a letter regarding copyright infringement ignores that letter unless it comes from a law firm. And even then, the recipient may ignore the letter. And at that point, you need to decide, are you going to sue for copyright infringement? And that's a conversation to have with your attorney. Many times, small businesses decide it's just not worth spending the money to sue for copyright infringement. Here's one of the problems. You may not be able to recover any of your attorney's fees. So you might spend $50,000 to $100,000 going after somebody. And let's assume they clearly infringed your copyright. And let's say you win the case. And at the end of the day, the judge says, all right, I find that the defendant infringed your copyright. I'm going to award $8,000 in damages. And by the way, that's not uncommon. In other words, quite regularly, the amount of the award is far less than the amount of money that was spent on attorney's fees in litigation. And so as a practical matter, most of the time, it doesn't make sense to sue a single party for infringing your copyright. Now, if they're infringing hundreds of your copyrights, or if it's willful and wanton and egregious, you might be able to recover your attorney's fees. In other words, let's say you're an artist and you create paintings, and some big company rips off all your paintings and starts selling digital art with your paintings, or even creating canvases with your paintings. And they're generating tens of thousands of dollars by including your paintings in their collection of art being sold online. That's a great example of where their conduct is willful copyright infringement. It's wanton, meaning it's excessive. It's egregious. And in those cases, often you're able to recover attorney's fees. And keep in mind too, you're often able to recover damages for every single infringement. So each work that's infringed and each time it's infringed. But this is a conversation to have with an attorney, because you can talk with an attorney about what are your costs potentially in actually pursuing this to trial? What is your likelihood of winning? And what is the amount of damages or money you're likely to get awarded in this case? And by the way, too, once you get that award, which is a piece of paper from a judge, what's the likelihood you can actually collect it from the other party? I mean, let's face it, if somebody's in another country, it can be very difficult to collect an award because you have to transfer that award to that country. We have to have a treaty with that country that allows for the enforcement of a United States judgment in that country. Now, if it's a Great Britain, no problem. But if you're talking about one of the small countries in Africa or Russia or some of the other countries that are in less developed portions of the world, it is unlikely that you are going to be able to enforce a United States court judgment that says you're owed money in those countries. So all of these are practical considerations, but at least now you have an idea on what does the copyright law give you as far as rights as an artist? And what are your practical options when somebody else infringes on your rights as an artist? Now, if you'd like to know more about how to avoid trouble like this, I have a free resource at aaronhall.com/free. I provide information for business owners of small to mid-sized companies on how to avoid common legal problems. That includes a PDF. It includes videos talking about important issues. I'm Aaron Hall. I'm an attorney for business owners and entrepreneurial companies. If you'd like, subscribe to this channel so you can get more educational content like this.